This is our final video for our review packet to study for your final exam for Algebra 1. Now, one of the questions you're going to see on the final will look very similar to this. You're going to see a quadratic equation graphed, very much like what you see here. And what you're going to be asked to do is find what is called the zeros of your function. Now, the zeros also go by other names. They go by roots as a name. They go by solutions. And they also are called x-intercepts. And so I think this name makes the most sense. So as you're looking at your picture, can you identify the two places where your graph crosses the x-axis? Yeah, sure you can. You just count. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, so that's -4. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it crosses also at 6. So you could label it as just the x-intercept, -4 and 6, or if they want you to label it as a point, it should be the number in the x spot of your point. So -4, 0, and 6, 0. And then again over here, the same question, but just a different picture, same topic. Can you find those two numbers where your graph crosses the x-axis? Sure, you can. Count over, you get -3 as one of the points, and count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, crosses at 5, 0. And again, it's an x-intercept, so that number should be in your point, the x value, and since it's also called 0, the other number is obviously 0. Okay, last three for the packet are simplifying a perfect square, and to simplify a perfect square root, you need a perfect square. Okay, so I'm going to make a list down here, perfect squares, and square roots undo each other. So since I see a square root, square root, square root, I need perfect squares. So I'm going to make a list. 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4 times 4, 5 times 5, 6 times 6, 7 times 7, and none of my numbers are higher than that, so I'm not going to keep going, but make a list of perfect squares. And then know that as you're looking at these numbers inside of your radical sign, they're called a radicand, we want to find one of these that goes perfectly into, meaning divisible. Now 12 is divisible by, and I want the highest number, so I'm not going to look at 16 because that's too big. 12 is not divisible by 9, but it is divisible by 4. So then I'm going to separate my 4 and my 3 in their own radicals. So I'm going to separate them. And then you do what's called rationalize the part that you can. The square root of 4 is a rational number. And the type of rational number that it is a whole number. A whole 2 is the square root of 4. But square root of 3 is a funky, crazy decimal that we don't know or understand. So we leave it in its irrational form, the square root form, because it doesn't simplify to be a nice whole number. Okay, now again, same with the number 20. I want to look at the numbers less than 20. Is 20 divisible by 16? Well, if you're just really having a tough time and you feel like the coffee hasn't kicked in yet or your brain just isn't working right, type it into your calculator. Is it evenly divisible? No, because it's 1 point something. And then go to the next number. Type in 9. Is it evenly divisible? No, it's not. Type in the next number. Is it evenly divisible? Yes, by a whole 5. So the square root of 20 is the same as this number, 4 times 5. And you separate your factors into their own square roots. Square root of 4 is a nice whole 2. And the square root of 5 doesn't get broken down because the only thing left that it's divisible by in this list is 1. And that is how you simplify your radical. Now, square root of 32, the highest perfect square that goes in there is 2. No. The highest perfect square that goes in twice is 16. I said that wrong. 32. So I want to look at numbers less than 32. Is 32 divisible by 25? No, it's not. Is 32 divisible by 16? Yeah, it is. It goes in twice. So again, the square root of 16 is the number 4. The square root of 2 does not simplify anymore because the only number that's left in this list that goes into it would be 1. And then you know you're done. I hope these videos have helped you out. If you have any more questions, please reach out to your teacher. Go in and see them for your study hall, your SSRT before the final, just to get some extra hints if you need them, and good luck on your final exams.